Likewise, husbands, live with your wives in an understanding way, showing honor to the woman as the weaker vessel, since they are heirs with you of grace of life, so that your prayers may not be hindered. 1 Peter chapter 3, verse. Hey fam bam, it's me, just Londa. Can we talk that talk? The decision to end this chapter in my life was not made impulsively, and it comes with a heavy heart. Despite this, my love and respect for Jeannie remains, and the time we spent together holds a cherished place in my heart. Our beautiful daughter is the best gift from our relationship, and I'm committed to ensuring she feels the love and stability she deserves. During this period, I kindly request that you respect our family privacy as we focus on healing. All right, so I am back. I am back because I wanted to put in my 2 cents when it came to Jeannie Mai and Jeezy breaking up. You know what I'm saying? Calling it quits, having a divorce. I just wanted to put in my 2 cents because I am married. I am happily married. To my knowledge, they've been married for about a year and they have a child together. And Jeezy is the one that called it quits first. Now, there's been like some allegations on some cheating and things like that, and that Jeannie was basically, it just came out of nowhere. I don't know what took place or what happened. I'm sorry, I'm just taking off the makeup that's on my hand. So if you hear, I'm sorry. I don't know what could have taken place between those two because, one, I'm not in their marriage. And I used to try to help fix marriages, believe it or not, because not that my marriage was so perfect, but in my eyes, it was just blissful. So like when people would be like, how do y'all stay together and things like that? Like, you don't stress about it. Like I just don't, not anymore. It took time for that to happen. Like, it wasn't like, oh yeah, you could just do whatever you want to do. But it took time. And with him calling it quits first says a lot. So I watched the video of Jeannie Mai being on Friends and Lovers podcast. And a lot of people were talking about how she basically changed for him.
So there's a school of thought that when you get with somebody, they're supposed to love you for who you are. And you're not supposed to change for love.
Yeah.
Because love is about acceptance. And if you have to change for love, then it's not the right person for you.
Right.
But you changed a lot.
A lot. I don't agree with that school of thought because I don't expect somebody to change for me, but I want them to grow and to become better versions of themselves. My favorite.
Now, every woman or person grows, right? Like, we all grow, and sometimes it's for better and sometimes it's for worse. I would like to think that Jeannie was trying to grow for the better, as well as him. I'm gonna just call him Jay, because I'm just gonna mess up his name. Even though I listen to his stuff, I'm just gonna call him Jay. So, when you take those vows in front of your family, it says, I, and you state your name, take thee to be my wedded husband, wife, to have and to hold from this day forth, for better, for worse, for richer or for poor, in sickness and in health, to love and to cherish till death do us part, according to God's holy ordinance, and thereof I pledge thee to you. Now, I don't recall saying that last bit. Sickness and health, death do us part from this day forth. And it was something else. I did recall it, but now I can't remember. But pretty much that was the gist of it, that you took those vows. And now you're calling it quits. What happened to trying to work things out, talking? Now, a lot of people are speculating that it's because, the mom is there and now the brother is there. When someone is married, I had to learn to keep my parents, especially my mom, out of my business, because they're going to take your side regardless, because you are their child. So therefore, you need to keep them out of your business, and them living with you, unless that was something that was already done in before y'all have gotten married, then adding that on, that could be stressful on newlyweds, and then adding other people on for you and your husband to take care of, that could be a stress binder too. And I'm only I'm on the outside looking in, okay? I'm only on the outside looking in. I can only tell you I asked God to make my mouth be of him and not be of me. I feel like it says, if it's not because of abuse, or if he's not cheating, or, if there wasn't no cheating going on and no abuse, why not try to work these things out? She changed her whole mindset. And listening to the podcast, you changed your whole mindset too on having children. Like, that's a whole blessing, because I know everybody's talking about the whole keeping lean and things like that, what she said. But people can grow and people can change. And I feel like the added on tension could have been taking care of others. Your newlyweds had they, and I don't know when the mom moved in, I don't know when the brother moved in as well, but had that role been further down the line, maybe like 5-6 years in, I don't think this would have happened. Newlyweds need to find themselves as husband and wife. They need to establish themselves as husband and wife. Like in the Bible, they would not allow newly husbands to go off to war or to do this or to do that, because they have to establish themselves with their partner, because we are partners. We as the wife are our husband's helpmate. You know what I'm saying? So within a year, you got all of this. And it's okay to be different. My husband and I are completely opposites. You hear me? Like, we are completely opposites. My husband, he's a hot mess. He's not even here. But he's a hot mess. He's a hot mess. And I love him to death. I love him to death. We're completely opposite. So a lot of people are like, well, Jeezy didn't want to be in the limelight where Jeannie did. It's a give and take marriage. Like, he may not want to be in the limelight, but he would do it for her. He would do certain things for her, because he would post them on his Instagram. She would post them on Instagram. Certain things he may want to keep on the wraps. And that's what she should do, if that's the case. When it comes to raising your children, because let me tell you, people are going to tell you how you should raise your children. Pardon me. Don't listen to them. Don't listen to them. Listen to each other. If he is saying, because from what I understand, he had some things about, walking your child to school and things like that. And in that podcast that I listened to, and y'all should listen to the whole podcast, she talks about Jeezy wanting to still be part of the community and still not have the mentality of being, this person where, he's not reachable, like he, like that's not your problem. You know what I'm saying? Like he wants to still be able to connect with his people, where Jeannie still wants to connect with, like, walking her child to school is giving her child some type of normalcy. So I can see where she's trying to still be relatable. That's the word that I'm looking for. I was looking for relatable. Certain things have to be a give and take. You know what I'm saying? Some things have to be a give and take. Being away from a spouse, if you're living over here and she's living over there, that's going to be a big strain in a marriage for the first year. Being a newlywed is hard. You know how many times I used to tell my husband, I'm like, you know what, I want a divorce. Or I'll text him, we need to talk. It's hard. It's really hard being a newlywed and to call it quits so quickly, where y'all had this bond together and y'all looked genuinely happy. I don't know. I feel like there was maybe some stress cracking. And it could be that, Jeannie didn't want to change, but she was changing because she said it in the podcast. Like, I listened to pretty much her whole segment.
For example, I have a really hot temper, but I didn't notice it in myself until I was with Jeezy.
Interesting. You didn't notice in your previous marriage?
No, because it has to do with the type of relationship you have and the type of respect you have for that person.
Because I was having my own opinions too. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he changed too. But that first year is critical to be together by yourself. If you happen to have a child in between that, then yeah, that rose with the punches. But y'all both wanted a child. So you wanted that aspect. Throwing parents and brother into the mix, and if you live on this side of the world and then he lives on this side of the world, that could be a bit stressful. It is nothing like having an argument with your spouse and you can't roll over and be like, I'm sorry. You have to pick up the phone. It's something about looking in your spouse's eyes and hearing the word, I'm sorry, or can you forgive me? Or can we talk about this? You need that in a marriage. You need that in a marriage. You need that comfort to be able to be with that person, to apologize or to make things right. Even if you don't want to apologize, even if you feel like you're in your feelings. Because I'd be like, I'm in my feelings and I will go sleep in the guest room in a hot second. You hear me? Like, I'm getting better. We try not to go to bed angry or upset. I wouldn't say angry because we don't get angry with, like, we rarely have arguments. So I just wish they would have worked things out. I wish there was a little bit more of a compromise, because I feel like maybe there wasn't a lot of compromising And I feel like they didn't get to know each other as newlyweds. And maybe he wasn't ready, but I feel like he was. I feel like he was ready. And they just weren't able to grow as newlyweds into the Mr. and Mrs. They weren't able to. And it's sad because he's going to miss her and she's going to miss him. But he's going to miss her. And they may end back up together. They may. So, and because I heard about the dragon lady. You know, everyone's different. When you meet someone, you grow with that person and you change a lot. When when God's like, okay, this is who you're supposed to be helping. This is your person. This is your mate, and you're like, you sure, God? Like, you sure? Because I be like, God, you sure? You sure? You slowly change. And I'm not the same person that I was when Ray and I first got married. And neither is he. Two men in my life, and I'm going to end it really quickly because nobody could probably care. But two men gave me the best advice ever. One before I got married and one after I got married. So the first advice that I got was from my father. And before we got married, and this was after our second child, he was like, you need to let that man be a man. And I was like, how can I let that man be a man when he still carry a booksack around? He was like, but he used to ride motorcycles and he would always have a booksack on. Nevertheless. So he told me that. You know what I'm saying? And slowly I look back and I see it and I see what he meant about letting Ray be a man. The second advice that I got was from a guy that I met when I lived in England. He was a chief in the military and he was like, what was the advice? Give me a second, okay, because it was something of the fact that how can a man change? A man will change if he loves you. How can he know what's wrong if you don't tell him and give him a chance to fix it? And he used to always tell me that, you know, he wanted to get to know me, or he knew that I was someone different when he didn't hear about me. My husband was on deployment and he was gone, and I would still go out, but he didn't hear about me because, you know. So men are able to change for the one that they love, and I do feel like he was changing. I just feel like it was slowly cracks in their marriage, which could have been fixed easily, especially if they were living together and if it was just them three together, husband, wife, and child. If anyone else is in that aspect, it's a lot. So that's what I think. That's my 2 cents on it. You know, this is a lot. It's not no sass. Everyone is saying that marriage is a contract. It's not a contract. Because if it was a contract, here we go. If it was a contract, if something is wrong with your spouse, you're going to leave. You're going to leave them. You will leave them. So if their leg is broken or if their leg is amputated, you're going to leave them. That contract is non and void. Like, it doesn't work like that. You have to love that person. That he is the helper. She is your helpmate. Like it has to, you have to mesh well and stop thinking that it's a contract, because it's not a contract. Marriage is not a contract. You have to love that person, and it has to be the right person. You got to ask God if that's the right person for you. Unfortunately, you do have to ask these questions. So on that note, fam, I'm going to end this because it is 20 minutes. So thanks for watching, rating, subscribing, all that good jazz to make me feel so warm and fuzzy inside. Peace and peace. Bye.